My fiancée refused to sign a prenup saying, "If you loved me, you wouldn't need one." I calmly agreed and canceled the wedding that night. 3 days later, she was online begging for me back. Hello Reddit, I plus here. My name is Ethan Cole. I'm 34 years old, and this is the story of how my entire future with the woman I loved fell apart over a single piece of paper. Or maybe, if I'm being honest, it's the story of how I dodged a bullet the size of a freight train. To anyone on the outside, my fiancée Madison Carter and I were the couple everyone envied. She was 29, gorgeous, smart, and charismatic. I was the driven one, the guy who built his own company from the ground up. Together, we looked like the perfect picture of young power couple. We had the apartment with the skyline view, the engagement photos straight out of a lifestyle magazine, the kind of relationship people double-tapped on Instagram while quietly comparing it to their own. And in just 2 months, we were supposed to walk down the aisle. The venue was booked, a vineyard estate just outside the city. The catering? Paid in full. Madison had even flown to New York to buy the $12,000 designer gown she said she'd dreamed of since she was 15. I thought our future was written in gold. Now here's the thing about me. I didn't come from money. When I was 22, I was living in a studio apartment so small the shower doubled as the closet. I maxed out credit cards, lived on gas station coffee, and worked 18-hour days to keep my idea alive. That idea turned into CodeForge, a boutique software development company. It's not Microsoft, but it employs 15 people and clears a healthy profit. CodeForge is my baby. I built it out of nothing, and I'll protect it with everything I have. So when my best friend and lawyer Derek suggested I draft a prenuptial agreement, it wasn't because I didn't trust Madison. It was because if, God forbid, things ever went wrong, I didn't want my company or my employees' livelihoods on the line. The prenup was simple. What's mine stays mine. What's hers stays hers. Anything we build after marriage would be shared equally. To me, that sounded fair. To Derek, it sounded essential. To Madison, it sounded like betrayal. I remember the night vividly. We were sitting on the couch, wine glasses in hand, when I brought it up as gently as possible. "Madison," I said, "Derek thinks we should do a prenup. Not because of us, but because of the business. It's just smart. It keeps things clean." Her smile vanished instantly. "A prenup?" she repeated, the word curling in her mouth like spoiled milk. "Yeah," I said carefully. "It's not about trust. It's just protection. For both of us." She let out this short, sharp laugh. "Protection? You think I'm some kind of threat to you?" "No, of course not," I said, trying to backpedal. "I love you. I just want to protect what I built before we met." She set her glass down hard. "You either trust me, Ethan, or this is over. I'm not signing a prenup." The room went cold. She was staring at me with this look, arms crossed, chin tilted up, daring me to choose between her and the company I'd bled for. And in that moment, something inside me clicked. This wasn't about love. This was about control. She was holding our relationship hostage, and I was supposed to hand over the ransom, my life's work. I took a deep breath. "You're right," I said quietly. Relief washed over her face. She actually smiled. "I knew you'd see it my way." "No," I said. "You're right. It is over." Her jaw literally dropped. "Excuse me?" she snapped. "It's over, Madison. I'm not going to be blackmailed into marriage." She sputtered, rage flashing in her eyes. "You're throwing away everything over a stupid piece of paper?" "No," I said, grabbing my keys. "I'm ending this because you just showed me who you really are." That night, I stayed on Derek's couch, and for 3 hours, I went nuclear. Called the wedding planner, canceled everything, ate the $9,000 deposit on the venue, lost another $6,000 to the caterer, canceled the band, the photographer, the florist. In one night, I dismantled our future like it was a stack of dominoes. Expensive dominoes, but still. Madison's calls started flooding in almost immediately. First angry, then tearful, then silent. By morning, I was free, broke from deposits, but free. For 48 hours, Madison was quiet. On the 72-hour mark, she reappeared, not in person, but on Instagram. She posted a black and white picture of us holding hands. The caption read, "Sometimes you think you know someone. My heart is shattered. He threw away our love over a piece of paper. Pray for me." And just like that, I became the villain. Her friends commented things like, "You deserve better, Queen. He never deserved you anyway." Wow, over a prenup? What a joke. I was painted as the cold-hearted businessman who valued money over love. Then her parents joined the fray. Her father, Charles, called me. "Ethan, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Fix this." "There's nothing to fix," I told him. "Your daughter gave me an ultimatum. I just agreed." An hour later, her mother, Elaine, called. Full guilt trip mode. You can't humiliate Madison like this. Think of her reputation. I hung up. But Madison wasn't done. Within a week, my company was under attack. Fake one-star Google reviews popped up overnight. Yelp, too. Dozens of them, all echoing the same phrases. The owner is manipulative. Unethical business practices. Avoid at all costs. Some of them even referenced private details about projects I'd only ever vented to Madison about. Clients started calling. One backed out of a $60,000 contract. It didn't take long to connect the dots. One of the reviewers used the same username Madison's cousin used for Instagram. Another review mentioned a bug from a private beta test Madison had heard me rant about. It was them. Her family, her friends. This wasn't heartbreak. This was a coordinated attack. I called Derek. He sighed. We can go after them for defamation, but it won't be easy. We'll need rock-solid proof. This could take months, maybe years. I clenched my jaw. Then we'll fight. And fight we did. 8 brutal months of depositions, hearings, and legal bills that made me want to vomit. Her cousin cracked first under questioning, admitting she was behind one of the reviews. Then Madison slipped, revealing private technical details only I could have told her. Their lawyer realized they were cornered. He begged for settlement talks. So we met, in a soulless conference room that smelled like burnt coffee. Madison sat across from me, arms crossed, face pale. Her parents looked defeated. Our demand, damages for the business, repayment of my legal fees, and half the wedding deposits. Their offer, a joke. Hours of negotiation later, we settled. They paid me 70% of my damages and fees. They signed retractions for the reviews, and they signed a non-disparagement clause, legally gagging them from ever mentioning me or my company again. It wasn't a perfect win, but it was decisive. Madison's world collapsed quietly. Word of the lawsuit leaked in her office. She was sidelined, then quit. Last I heard, she's working an entry-level job and living back with her parents. Charles and Elaine, social pariahs in their circle, known as the parents who tried to ruin their future son-in-law and lost. As for me, I survived. My company is stronger now. I've rebuilt, but I carry the scar. Because the truth is, love wasn't enough. And when someone shows you who they really are, believe them. And if you're lucky, you'll see it before you sign the papers.